this video, we'll be looking at a couple of different techniques for adding the sound of vinyl into our productions straight from our DAW. I've got this synth part playing here on Sylinth, quite a nice synth sound. However, I'd like to add a plugin on here to just give it a bit more of an old school analog flavour. iZotope Vinyl plugin is a free plugin that you can download from the iZotope website, and it recreates the sound of vinyl. And we can dial in mechanical noise, wear, electrical noise, dust, scratch, warp depth to give any sound in our project, synth or drums or vocals, an old school vinyl feel. We can bring up the dust or scratch slider and then increase the amount of either scratches or dust. We can also change the year for a real old school feel. I'm going to keep the year on 2000 and just go quite subtle with this. Add a bit of warp depth and a small amount of dust, and just bring this amount control up a little bit. And bring the wear and mechanical noise down. I can push up the output gain to remedy the level lost using the vinyl plugin. And it's also important to note, if I load up an EQ, that it adds quite a lot of low end to your sounds when you place this plugin on any channel. So after my iZotope Vinyl plugin, I apply an EQ and roll off some of the low end. And it gives this synth part a little bit more of a degraded, old school feel. I'd now like to add a bit more of an analog flavour to these drum sounds, this kick and snare. I've got some recordings down here from when I recorded some of my records into my DAW to transfer them into a digital file, and quite conveniently I've got a little bit of silence at the start of these recordings. Which is just the vinyl noise from the needle pickup. These can be used creatively to add a sense and feel of vinyl with our productions. I take this bit of needle pickup here, and I'm going to layer it with my kick and snare. I'm going to have to do a couple of things to this piece of audio so it plays a little bit better. For one, we can't really hear it when we play it with the kick and snare. So I'm going to use a utility gain to bring up a bit of level. And the scratches on the second bar of it a little bit too intrusive, so I'm going to get rid of them. And now I'm going to place an EQ after my gain. And I can see this vinyl recording the needle pickup. There's quite a lot of low frequency that I need to get rid of. Now I'd like to add some sidechain compression. Not a huge amount, but just to duck it on the kick drum, and this will make the effect of this vinyl noise just a little bit more rhythmic with my drums. Obviously dial the level to taste. But used in the right way can add a real nice old school flavour to drum sounds or any track in your project. For this final technique, I'm going to take this piece of needle pickup here and I'm going to convert this to a sampler track. And just edit a couple of things on my sampler here. Go into my edit button on the EXS24, and because I've taken this sample from quite a long piece of audio, I don't want this section where the drums on this vinyl recording play. So I'm going to take off one shot here, and I'm also going to stretch the sample right across the keyboard and maybe change the root note to C3. And now copy the synth notes over to my vinyl part. And let's just edit the envelope. Again, we could apply a gain. And an EQ, because we know there's going to be some low frequency from the needle pickup. And now we can play this along with our synth part. And it acts almost like a white noise oscillator, except it's authentic vinyl recording to add in that old school feel to your productions. That's all for now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Any questions, please get in touch, and thanks for watching.